Hey guys, Mykee here. Before we get into this review, I want to take a little bit of your time to draw attention to what's been going on in the Philippines. Just last week, a number of regions across the country were hit hard by the typhoons, currently leaving a number of our countrymen in great need of help. It certainly goes without saying that the response of much of those in charge just hasn't been great, to put things lightly. And yes, like much of the last 4 years, it's been frustrating to see. But on the other hand, I do believe that you can demand for accountability and help out at the same time. You can donate, volunteer, advocate, and just use whatever platforms you have to help out in some way. If you've been wondering where to go or what you can do, I've left some resource links in the description box below. If you have the means, please help out in whatever ways you can. I mean, after all, a little can go a long way. Last thing before we get into this review, if you're of voting age, or if you will be by the next time the elections roll around, please do register to vote. I feel a little weird doing this now, but let's get into it. If you're here for the first time, Footnotes is a series on this channel where we give you news and info on sneakers, brands, and more things happening around sneaker culture. Lately, we've been doing a lot of reviews, and today's episode is no different because I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on the Calcite Glow Yeezy 380 Boost. And just like our previous reviews, I want to use this time to serve as a jump-off point into a larger discussion. I want to touch base a little bit on the design evolution of the Adidas Yeezy line by comparing the 380 with the silhouette that it's closest to in more ways than one, the Yeezy 350 V2. So without further ado, let's go into my review of the Calcite Glow Yeezy 380 Boost. Starting off with the box, save for the model number up top, you get your typical brown Yeezy box with a slide-out compartment for the shoes. On the label, the colorway listed is Cal Glow in triplicate. Again, with the exception of the model and colorway, there are no deviations from the design of the box and the layout of the label. Moving on to the shoes, the uppers are very interesting. All around the white prime knit upper are thick knit sections that form a pattern. I can't even place what the color is. Kinda white, but depending on the light, it seems to sorta match the glow treated midsole, which I'll get into later. On both the lateral and medial sides of the shoe, you get streaks of gray knit with a different texture from the white and pattern sections. Under the gray knit are layers of fuse to add a bit of durability and lightweight support. The gray sections also have holes punched through them to serve the purpose of both ventilation and lacing, something which I'm going to be discussing now. The 380s feature the Infinity lacing system, which is basically bungee cord style lacing. There is no way to take them off unless you cut them, but then again, since 380s are sock-like sneakers to begin with, the lacing system is more for fashion than actual function. However, if you do want to cut them, they do come with an extra set of regular laces in a packet that nicely matches the box, if I do say so myself. So if you do end up cutting the Infinity laces, this is where the abundance of lace holes comes in handy to dial in your ideal fit. After all, they aren't called the Calcite Glows for nothing. So I did a glow test. And yes, they glow. Like a lot. Moving past the glow treatment, the midsole design is rather aggressive. I mean, just check out the curves. Raised high in the heels, and steadily dropping before slightly coming up again at the toe area. The outsole has been given the same treatment as the midsole, and for maximum grip, a wavy traction pattern is used pretty much the entire length of the outsole, save for the sections that are cut away to expose the bruised cushioning. When it comes to trying them on, if you're not used to the feeling of wearing sock-like sneakers, it does take a bit of getting used to, especially with these. The ankle collar area is rather high and tight, and the exposed areas of knit could cause some unwanted friction and rub your ankles raw. So I would certainly think about wearing higher socks with them. And due to the tightness of the collar, I was also a little worried about damaging the knit when I tried to get my feet in the shoes. But when you do get them on, they fit pretty great. Snug, but not suffocating. After all, what you want with sock-like sneakers is to get as close a fit as possible. And once you're in, your ankles and Achilles are pretty secure thanks to the segmented heel cushions set up inside the shoes. That's of course if you get the right size. I got them in a size 9.5, which is consistent with the size of the other Yeezys I own. Adidas does recommend going up half a size, and I do think this is the way to go. In terms of step-in comfort, it's there from the get-go thanks to the boost. Very plush and quite responsive even though it's sealed within the midsole. I don't know if the first try is much to go on, but I think they're already way comfier than a couple of other Yeezys with boost. And because of the aggressively sculpted rear section and a slightly curved toe area, you get this sort of rockered feeling when you walk in them. They're contoured in a way where your feet are primed to stride forward, much like a performance running shoe. They're not running shoes though, so I would definitely advise you against taking them for a serious run. Before we go into my overall thoughts on the Calcite Glow 380s, check out how they look on feet. Earlier that I wanted to use this review as a means to jump into a bigger discussion on the evolution of Yeezy footwear design. Looking at them side by side, it's pretty easy to make the argument that the 380 is the most natural evolution of the 350 V2. Certainly, the 350 V2 is the more known design. In a previous video, I went so far as to call it one of the shoes that defines the Adidas brand. Despite a strong initial colorway, most of the 380s have been overlooked due to a number of questionable colorways that follow. And the noise around hyped sneakers has steadily moved away from Yeezys and other sock-like shoes. But now with both in my collection, despite sharing similarities in terms of the uppers, cushioning, and construction, the 380s just feel sharper and more streamlined. I do think the 350 V2 deserves all the recognition. And I think it'll never go away because it's the shoe people will think of the most when they think of Yeezys. But the 380 takes the comfort of the 350 and turns it up a number of levels. And that reason alone should be enough for people to pay more attention to them. Now, are they for everybody? Certainly not. But if you value comfort as one of the things that you look out for most when it comes to buying your shoes, then the Calcite Glow 380s are certainly a good look. The Calcite Glows are up there with the aliens for the best looking 380s by far. Definitely the cleanest look if you ask me. If you had to put both up against each other in a head-to-head, I might even give the 380s a slight edge too. The only issue I foresee having with this pair specifically is cleaning. They're white and knitted, so that'll attract a lot of dirt. and given our weather here in the Philippines, you're always a sudden downpour away from messing up your shoes. But they are a clean look, and they're not going for much more than retail on the secondary market right now. So if you're looking for a personal pair of Yeezys, I'd consider getting these. And if you're flat-footed, just for the design of the midsole alone, I would seriously consider giving these a look. And that wraps up this review. Thanks so much for watching. And also, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you for getting us to 100 subscribers. In a world where so much content gets pumped out daily, it means the world for us for people to watch the things we create. So thank you again for your support, and we hope to keep creating great stuff for you all to enjoy. So please hit like if you like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and ring the notification bell to stay updated on Footnotes, the current rotation where we talk about the shoes we've been wearing, Steal Spotting where we find good deals, and of course our namesake podcast. How do you feel about the 380s? Do you like them? Let me know in the comment section below because I'd love to hear from you guys. Once again, my name is Mykee. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.